Hello everyone, my name is Baptiste and this is my walkthrough and comparison of my design with an existing model. This presentation seeks to compare my design with that of the Belgium EID cards that are currently in use in Belgium. Firstly, I'd like to introduce my design for this assignment. My idea, I should say, is to create a database and program where your national ID and driver's license can be accessed virtually by use of biometrics, such as your fingerprint. It will be named the Trinidad and Tobago Virtual Identification, or TNT VID, describing the task that users will perform. The idea is that you can use your fingerprint to access these national documents without the need of having these documents physically. For example, say you find yourself in a roadblock and the police ask you for your driver's license. They will present a fingerprint scanner for you to scan your fingerprint on, and upon it being scanned, your data such as your ID and license will show up on the program. As you can see from the mock-up, both your ID and license show up on the program. All your information is displayed with very little clutter, and there's a tab at the top of the screen just below the logo where you can switch between the ID section and the license section. And as for a backup, just in case your fingerprint may be compromised, you will also have to input a 6-digit PIN upon registering your ID or license. This will come in handy for people who may have disabilities involving their hands and therefore cannot input a fingerprint. For the general public, however, the fingerprint method would be the standard and the PIN would be a backup. How is this better than having these items physically? Having these items physically means that you will have to walk with these items in your pocket, car, or have them at home. This presents a problem as they can be lost, misplaced, or stolen. Having your ID in your wallet can make it easier for it to be stolen, for example, as someone can rob you in public, or you can lose your wallet in a car, a taxi, or a maxi, etc. Additionally, as human beings, we tend to be forgetful. This can lead to you forgetting your documents at home when you really need them. For example, say you are driving and a roadblock appears, but you accidentally left your license at home. This can lead to a charge being formed against you. Having these items be virtual means that it is impossible for it to be physically stolen or lost, as it is in a secure government database. All you really need is your fingerprint. Another example of this being useful is you entering a place where ID is needed. All you need to present is your fingerprint, and that place can simply scan your fingerprint, provided that they have the technology to scan your finger and access the database where your ID is stored. Of course, the database will need to be protected by the strongest of cybersecurity. Last but of course not least, this format of ID and driver's license will drastically decrease the likelihood of you falling victim to identity theft and impersonation. Your virtual ID and driver's license will have a unique and highly advanced QR code. Existing design that I am comparing my product with. I will be comparing my product to the Belgium EID card that has been in production since 2002. With their ID card, it has the ability to store the holder's 2 index fingers in the card's microchip. The ID card has a perforated picture of the holder that is engraved into the back of the card. The card also features a QR code, and it can be used to sign electronic documents and log into online public services. With regards to using the EID on an online service, you will have to purchase a card reader, download a software from eid.belgium.be onto your PC, and once installed, insert your card into the card reader and enter your PIN into the online public service. Who are the users? The users for my product would be the general public. This product is intended for the large majority of people in Trinidad and Tobago. I would assume that most of them would be technologically literate up to the level that they can use an average smartphone and computer at a basic level. This level of technological competency would be all that is needed, as my design would only require you to be able to use a smartphone and, for special situations, maybe a computer. User task. The user task that I will be comparing my product to the Belgium product with is setting up the ID cards for online use. So, for the Belgium EID card, to set up your card for online use, you need to download the EID software, connect your EID card reader to your computer and put your EID in the card reader. When the EID software can read your EID, the installation is successful. Then you have to do a test login, which is where you have to go to the CSAM login page and connect your card reader to the computer. Choose your authentication certificate, enter the PIN code of your EID, and if successful, you will receive a message that you are logged in. Whereas for my product, if you are to set my product up for an online service, firstly, upon receiving your virtual ID and or your driver's license, you will be encouraged to install an app onto your phone and laptop to complete a one-time setup. Inside the app, you will enter your unique ID or license number and your 6-digit PIN that you would have received when issued the ID card or the license. You will be asked specific questions such as your date of birth and your place of birth, etc. Upon answering these questions correctly, a confirmation code will be sent to your email that you will have to confirm. Upon successfully confirming your email, you will be granted access to your virtual ID or license. Once this is done, all you will have to do from now on is enter your 6-digit PIN and your ID or your license number into any government website or service to access it. But you may ask, how is my design different? My design is fully virtual, which minimizes the risk of your ID being physically stolen. The Belgium EID card system is strictly for their national ID card system, whereas the TNT VID system, which is my system, will be able to store both your national ID card and your driver's license, and in the future may even be able to store other national documents such as your birth certificate. These here are the ISO standards of usability that my product will be made in compliance with. According to Schneiderman's golden rule of offer informative feedback, I tend to accomplish this by having the application constantly give the user feedback on where they are at while performing a task, such as having the buttons be emboldened when the user is in its corresponding section or after they have completed performing a task. Another principle I intend to utilize is Norman's principle of constraints. For example, in a section of the app where the user has to input a PIN, there will only be the option to input numbers instead of it being able to input just any character that is on a user's keyboard. This makes it simpler to use as the user is not bombarded by too much possibilities and options. From this assignment, I learned that we should take our identity and the risks of identity theft very serious. Even while observing the qualities of the Belgium EID cards, I have gained a massive understanding of the threat of identity fraud and the lengths we as humans go to prevent this from happening. At first, I was only concerned with the threats of someone physically stealing your ID or your license, having them being lost and forgotten at home. But now, I understand that that is only part of the problem with these documents. Identity fraud is a very real and frightening thing, and I believe that my product will be able to combat that threat with its advanced security features stated before, such as the fingerprint capabilities, 6-digit PIN, and the QR code capabilities. Changes I would make. The only change I would make regarding the Belgium EID card would be to put more information onto their website and explain more about the card. Here are my likes and dislikes. Personally, I think that there is a limited amount of information on the website regarding the Belgium EID cards, but I like how even though they still have a physical ID card, they have state-of-the-art security features like the perforated image of the cardholder's face on the ID to limit the chances of it being illegally copied. I like how my TNT VID database has the ability to store both the user's ID and driver's license on it to make it more convenient to display to police officers and government institutions. My name is Baptiste, and thank you very much for listening to my presentation.